Bron Breakker is coming back, and when he does, Seth Rollins and his entire masked empire are going to wish they never saw his shadow on that ramp. What's up, WWE fans? Welcome back to WWE Express, where we break down the biggest stories in professional wrestling. If you're ready to watch a generational talent unleash complete devastation on the Visionary and his cult-like faction, then you're going to love what we're covering today. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to WWE Express for daily wrestling analysis, breakdown of the biggest storylines, and deep dives into what makes WWE storytelling so incredible. Let's talk about one of the most anticipated returns in recent memory. Bron Breakker has been on the sidelines, and the wrestling world has been holding its breath. But make no mistake, his absence has only made one thing crystal clear: WWE has a future superstar who refuses to be held down, and when he returns to that ring, the landscape of the company is going to shift. Seth Rollins and his masked army might believe they run Monday Night Raw, but they're about to get a reality check they won't forget. Here's why this matchup matters so much. Bron Breakker represents something pure in professional wrestling. He's a third-generation superstar who carries the legacy of his father Rick Steiner and his uncle Scott Steiner, but he's not riding on their coattails. Bron has carved his own identity as a relentless, powerful force that demolishes everything in his path. He's got that supernatural strength, that genetics that makes him stand out, and that killer instinct that separates good wrestlers from truly elite competitors. When Bron steps through those ropes, you feel it. The entire arena feels it. Now contrast that with what Seth Rollins has been doing. The Visionary has always been about reinvention, about finding new ways to stay relevant and shocking the WWE universe. But lately, this masked army thing, this faction he's been building, it represents something different. It's about control. It's about power. It's about Seth Rollins not just being a champion, but being the architect of a movement. That's dangerous. That's compelling television. But here's the thing about movements and empires built on fear and mystique: they all eventually crumble when they meet someone they can't intimidate, someone they can't outthink, someone they can't stop. That's Bron Breakker. The psychology of this story is absolutely fascinating when you break it down. Bron's return isn't just about coming back from injury. It's about a generational superstar finally getting the opportunity to prove that he's not just another name on the roster. He's the guy. He's the one who's going to main event WrestleManias. He's the one who's going to hold world championships. He's the one who's going to define this era of WWE. But first, he has to go through Seth Rollins and his masked army, and honestly, that's perfect storytelling. Think about what this means for Seth Rollins too. The Visionary has had an incredible career path, but he's also someone who's always searching for meaning, always searching for identity, always reinventing himself. His masked army represents his latest evolution. But what happens when that army, that power structure, that control he's built, meets an unstoppable force? What happens when Bron Breakker, at full strength, hungry after time away, finally gets his chance to destroy everything Seth has built? That's the story. That's what wrestling is all about. That's the drama that keeps people coming back night after night, week after week. The return of Bron Breakker has to be methodical. It has to be devastating. It can't just be about one win. This is about establishing dominance. This is about showing the entire WWE universe that when Bron Breakker is healthy, when he's full strength, there's nobody on the roster that can match his power, his speed, his athleticism, his sheer force of will. Seth Rollins might have numbers with his masked army, but numbers don't matter when you're facing a wrestler with the genetics, the training, and the hunger that Bron brings. And here's what makes this story really work for WWE Express viewers: the character work. Bron doesn't need to talk endlessly about his dominance. He needs to show it. He needs to walk to that ring with purpose. He needs to destroy opponents with precision and power. He needs to make everyone watching believe that he's not just coming back, he's coming back to take what he believes is rightfully his. That's compelling. That's what makes wrestling great. It's the physical storytelling combined with the character psychology that makes fans invest emotionally. Seth Rollins, on the other hand, should be at least slightly rattled by Bron's return. The Visionary has always been confident, always been cocky, but there's a difference between being confident in your abilities and being confident that you can overcome a wrestler like Bron Breakker. Seth Rollins has the skills, he has the experience, he has the faction, but does he have the answer to pure, unbridled, generational talent that comes in the form of Bron Breakker? That question should linger in his mind. What we should expect to see is a build that makes fans absolutely desperate to see these two collide. Whether it's a one-on-one match or whether the masked army gets involved, the journey to that match needs to be compelling. It needs to show Bron systematically working his way back to his rightful position. It needs to show Seth Rollins getting more and more frustrated as Bron dismantles his allies and gets closer and closer. It needs to build to a moment where these two incredibly talented wrestlers finally lock up, and all hell breaks loose. The stakes of Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins could be massive. This could be about the future direction of Monday Night Raw. This could be about establishing who the top guy is going forward. This could be about Bron finally getting his opportunity to prove that he's not just a future star, he's the star of right now. And for Seth Rollins, this is about defending his position, defending his movement, and trying to prove that his current evolution is the one that will take him to the next level. That's what makes wrestling beautiful. That's what makes WWE Express so much fun to cover. This is storytelling at its finest. This is two incredibly talented performers on a collision course, with everything on the line, and fans watching at home or in that arena desperate to see who comes out on top. So WWE fans, what do you think happens when Bron Breakker finally faces Seth Rollins and his masked army? Do you think Bron's raw power is enough to overcome the numbers game? Or does Seth Rollins have something planned that even generational talent can't overcome? Let us know in the comments below because we want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this breakdown and you want to see more analysis like this every single day, make sure you subscribe to WWE Express and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. WWE Express, breaking down the stories that matter in professional wrestling. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.